Two players have drawn 7, and looks like Ben's on the play. Here we go. Is this a turn 1 Veteran Explorer from Henry? It is. Oh no, I lied. Says he's Divining Top. I love how synonymous that card has become with Miracles, and then when your opponent taps out for it on turn 1 using a Forest or a Plains, or, yeah, well, you know, a non-Miracles land, and your opponent goes, oh god, what's this?
What's
this
going on?
What am I doing? How do I play against this? Because this could be, you know...
Well, Henry has previously won a larger events that we've had. I believe it was around a 40-player Northern League event with Scape Shift Nyxfit.
Yeah, the Jund
killing
version.
people with Valakits.
I mean, Nyxfit, being able to utilise top because of how many shuffles you have, because you've got the Veteran Explorer shuffles, you've got fetches, you've got Greens and Zeniths, which, you know, shuffles twice, if that's relevant. Lots of, you know, abilities to manipulate the top 3 cards of the library, but not a lot of actual, because you not play blue, you don't get a lot of actual card selection. So, top proving quite appropriate. Ben, probably regretting fetching Trop.
We see a Spirit of the Labyrinth here for Ben Flounders, which is gonna prevent Ben from...
I mean, it's an enchantment, isn't it?
Any cards. It is indeed.
It's a 3-1 as well, which is probably relevant. Using the Carpet of Flowers mana main phase 2 to get an advantage. Meanwhile, Ben's enchantment arguably less good now his opponent has a Spirit of the Labyrinth. Luke K, read cards, please. Yeah, Ben probably may have kept the hand on the strength of this Sylvan Library, as it is only 1-lander, and this might not go well for him. How do you think this matchup's going to go? Because I don't know.
So, this style of Nyxfit deck is sort of almost prison-y. It has a lot of recursive effects to grind through your opponent's resources, lock your opponent out of creatures, and I think probably the matchup is in Nyxfit's favour post-board, although...
You do get to ramp Ben into his Allurens, though.
It's true.
Like, Ben kept a 1-lander here, which would usually look horrendous against his opponent's Spirit Labyrinth draw, but actually, if Henry has to activate the trigger the ability on Veteran Explorer to get ahead, it's going to put Ben less behind.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
Interestingly, we don't see any Eidolon of Rhetorics in this deck, which I think would actually be an interesting inclusion, which is obviously the Rule of Law creature.
Yeah.
Which would be incredibly good against Ben's deck, but unfortunately it doesn't seem that they've been included here. Henry, I don't think is going to be too restrained on mana here, because he has this Carpet of Flowers in play, which is going to give him mana from almost every land that plays.
Ben can go get Basic Forest. He also, I believe, has Scrubland and Savannah. So Ben has access to...
But
Ben's hand seems awfully full, and Spirit Labyrinth is in play. We'll get a judge call coming over, because Ben's played life for that Sylvan Library win. Unfortunately, that's not how that works. Interestingly, Henry has to watch himself tapping top as well, doesn't he? Because it's players. We're getting this resolved, depending on whether or not the importance of Sylvan Library, the interaction between Sylvan Library and Spirit Labyrinth works badly or favourably for Ben will be determined imminently.
I don't know whether is Sylvan Library worded that you draw the cards?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. Oh dear. Niche interactions, game 1. Unfortunately, I think we have the horrible Thoughtseize fix, which is unfortunate. We can spend a little more time talking about the deck list while players are sorting out this judge call. I like the one of Abzan Charm in the Nyxfit list. That's spicy. That card's been nearly legacy playable for quite a while. There's never really been a shell for it. Maverick doesn't necessarily want it because he's playing Thalias.
It's an interesting card. I think it competes quite heavily with Painful Truths, though.
Yeah, and Maelstrom Pulse. There's a lot of 3s. Oblivion Ring in this deck.
I mean, the trade-off is that Painful Truths is easier to cast, but draws you more cards. But Abzan Charm does give you slightly more utility. I mean, I can't imagine you're putting counters on creatures very often.
I don't know. This 5/3.
I mean, that's gonna attack quite nicely through this board of Deathrite Shamans.
Yeah. We have I think we have the random Thoughtseize fix, which by the way is horrible. However, Ben has triple Aluren. So Ben here gets a Javier, as you can hear over the stream, and yeah, how do you feel about the Thoughtseize fix? It changed recently, where rather than just
I think it's less of a feel bad for players when you mess up.
it's a bit of a weird one. So Henry has a lot more information now than he necessarily should, but that's, I guess, the punishment for Ben drawing extra cards. The fact that both players missed it to me means that Ben, I mean, it's Ben drew cards when he shouldn't have done, but it's quite. I think it's more. This is unfortunately more feel bad for Ben, but he is, as you know, the infraction E, probably more culpable.
Yeah, for sure. I think you'd rather feel bad that you gave your opponent lots of information and don't have that card than have lost that game. So I think that's better. I mean,
Yeah, Ben of course has the option to scoop, so it doesn't change that much. I think we're Cabal therapying here. Ben has the opportunity to get get a land and cast Brainstorm. See, this proving that Thoughtseize fix is a bit horrible.
I think interestingly here, we're running quite low on the clock, and this Nyxfit deck does not look like it wins in the speediest of
No,
fashions.
I think we're counting down from the last round and haven't started up.
No, we're still in the current round. This is game 3 of that game.
Oh, okay, sure. That was really good to know. So they have a few extra minutes.
So we have a few extra minutes for the judge call, and obviously a few extra minutes from moving from the
Wow, my bad.
from the game tables to.
Thanks for the info. So Ben managed to put 2 Alurens back on top.
There's a lot of options here for Henry. I imagine we're gonna see a Rector, which is gonna get sacrificed to the.
No, I think we're passing.
Interesting.
We don't have enough mana. I think we've already used the Carpet of Flowers
we've used the card.
to cast the Therapy, because we only had 1 land in play at that point.
Sure.
We're casting this Aluren.
I mean, the
We doesn't get to cast Rector, so Ben could just have. If Ben has managed to draw a Recruiter, he has access to the win. I don't think Ben has managed to draw a Recruiter, which is a shame. Yeah, this could have been pretty interesting. Oh, if we actually knew what was on top, so we have all information.
another really nice interaction in the Nyxfit deck is.
Did our opponent just draw a card off top? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. My bad.
Yeah, another interesting interaction in this deck is the Sterling Grove with Starfield of Nyx, allowing us to tutor over and over again.
Yes.
It's truly
this is
grindy.
like basically Enchantress, isn't it?
It's Enchantress,
is he playing
but we're
any
not.
Serra Sanctums?
I don't believe we're playing any
it's
Serra
this.
Sanctums.
No.
We're
We aren't
playing.
playing quite enough enchantments to play Serra Sanctum. I believe.
We're playing the Phyrexian Tower instead to bin our Rectors,
Yeah.
which is like our pseudo colourless land.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I could see someone potentially playing
The one-off.
playing
The problem is
one.
you don't have access to it.
The other issue is that you need to keep a critical mass of basics in your deck for your veteran
And we're only
explorers.
playing 6, which is about the low end, I think.
Ah,
Oh, this humility
awkward.
is in play now.
That is pretty bad news.
Ben
that
asks,
is
does
for
that come
Ben.
into play? Unfortunately, it
Does Ben have a
I
way
mean,
of dealing
well,
with?
Ben can draw extra cards in Silver Library now. So he can draw into answers.
This is true. Well,
But
You're-
you have to deal with Sterling Grove and then Humility. This seems really rough. I think Ben's out is attack with 1/1s.
there are no cards in his deck that remove a humility that I can see at least. There's no Maelstrom.
He can still
Pulse.
cast his 1/1s.
He can still cast his 1/1s and beat down, but
He probably should have, unfortunately didn't know to respond to the trigger. I mean, this, Henry's on 19 though, that's like a lot of life, and he has access to Pernicious Steed. This seems really rough for Ben. What can Sterling Grove fetch this turn that really locks Ben out? Doomwave Giant?
well, the first thing you want to fetch is Doomweight Giant. Then your opponent doesn't
Well,
get
no,
any
because
creatures.
it's... Will the trigger go on the stack or not? Because it's a battlefield trigger.
True. That's true. You probably want to be fetching Starfield of Nyx, and then you just get to
Yeah.
search for an enchantment every single turn.
Stuff like this. Lock your opponent out slowly, grindily, and...
Yeah, because then you can just search for Pernicious Steeds, which come back over and over
Yeah.
again, and
he can just... Okay, he's choosing to cast... He just to cast his 1/1 there when he could have just...
even in the set you can just return Deadweight every single turn. Because there's a Deadweight in this deck. Because why not? It's like Disfigure, but it comes back every turn.
So, we are going to time. we've called time. We are on first turn of time. And there's a discussion as to whether or not he gets to reveal the top card of his library. The answer is no. Ben, probably just playing for, well, obviously not playing for the draw, but looking at drawing this game, unfortunately, due to the fact that he's not gonna, Ben reminds himself that he can draw. Drawing cards is good.
Well, Spirit of Labyrinth is now in the bin, so we can do whatever we want, even if Humility is not in play. In. Dush, 2 damage.
Sack a Sterling Grove for mana. Yes, I appreciate where he's going with this.
Did you think he was sacking it?
I was like, he
the
can't make
Phyrexian
black for that.
That's not a creature.
So, can Henry go off? Is there a combo? Because Henry only has 3 turns to win. And he's unfortunately got his own Humility, slowing down his own clock. I mean, he can sacrifice that at some point. No, he's just going to struggle to win in turns, unfortunately. And this is going to be a massive anticlimax, isn't it?
There's a Curse of Death Soul in his board, which is going to completely lock his opponent out.
Well, both players out though. So
no, it's only his creatures. It's not
Curse of Death Soul.
Curse of Death Soul,
not
not Knight of Soul's Control.
So wait, no, now he's got a load of... Wait, the interaction between... Crikey. So he's got a load of 1/1s that don't do anything? No, so... Because this came into play last. So yeah, his guys are actually just like 3/3s and...
Interesting.
Crikey. Guys at home, layers. Yeah. We've got a very useful...
HC Fox in the
we're
chat.
going to flash in a 1/1.
On it with the layering.
Oh, wait. Cascade is a cast trigger, so we get to do things. We get to keep going. Ben, you know, using his time on camera wisely.
If you're going to take actions, take lots of them.
Ben has Lindell's fault. Unfortunately, can't cast it right away, but, you know, it's pretty exciting. It's just going to make blockers. Block man. Let's see how this
Ben
goes.
announcing that the Parasitic Strings does not trigger.
Yeah. That 2 life probably relevant. So, what are we blocking? We could block Carpet of Flowers, keep Henry off mana, but realistically at this point, not that relevant. I'd be blocking off the enchantments and just... okay, Ben just clarifying that his Aluren is not a 4/4.
Ben, yeah, and that his Sylvan Library can't block either.
Yeah. Wow, yeah. Take 7, these... Oh, crikey. So if Ben had blocked 1... He could have killed his opponent's 3/3 by blocking a... Oh, crikey. By blocking a Carpet of Flowers and the 3/3. Ben's creature would have both died, and then the 3/3 would have returned back to being a 1/1 and have 1 damage marked on it and die. Interactions, yo.
Fantastic.
Interactions. Why, Henry, why? Please, no why.
Incredible amounts of nonsense and all buggery.
So now Henry has no mana and not a lot of time. Ben has not a lot of life, but blockers. And frankly, yeah, unlikely to 15.
That hit for 7 was pretty substantial.
I just don't think Henry can swing back for the win next turn. Don't think he can make enough enchantments that can attack. Starfield Nyx, of course, always never a 5/5, right? Unless under like Opalescence. Just for clarification, do we have Opalescence?
I don't believe we have an Opalescence in
God.
this version.
I don't want to think anymore.
We do, however, have Living Plane, which can turn all of Henry's lands into 1/1s.
That's nice.
Unfortunately, it also turns all of Ben's lands into 1/1s, so
That
that's
is
not
nice.
going to help.
Ones that don't tap for mana anymore. No longer have any abilities. Freshie Tower cannot sacrifice itself, which actually seems pretty funny. So like a half a Lake of the Dead.
A puddle of the dead.
Squelch. Henry, looking at his hand, I mean, we haven't got enough enchantments to attack with Humility. I don't know what I'm saying here. We haven't got enough enchantments to play to attack with the Humility. Can we make that many? I'm surprised we didn't see a top spin, and if we did, I apologise to the people at home for missing that. Oh, we're just going to draw off top. Yeah. Wall Grove. That makes 5. But Ben has blockers. I just think this is game over and it's a draw, unfortunately. Wow. After all this, ladies and gentlemen at home, all of this mind-bending nonsense gobbledygook is going to end in a draw, unfortunately. Unless Henry has something that he's going to just pop deed, kill your Durst. Okay, go, 5, go. Can Ben, yeah. Yeah. There we go. Players handshake, both shake heads. Yeah, that was a headache. So, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed our sort of guessing some of the rules and getting a few wrong.
Players onto 2 1-on-1 there, so we're only playing 4 rounds, so it's very, very likely that they're going to rank the top 4.
So we get to see more of that nonsense later on.
There may possibly be more nonsense of an enchantment-based variety.
Tasty. Thankfully, Henry will have the opportunity to play out his round fully this time. Probably show us a win condition at some point. I mean, I suppose it gets there eventually, just with enough enchantments in play.
I guess that is one of the issues with playing this deck, is that you are quite likely to go to time or have long games.
That's sometimes true of Ben's deck, which is an interactive sort of combo control deck, mid-range deck. Hey guys, we're back. Still at IQ Games Huddersfield. I'm still Luke. That's still Barney. This is the booth, and we had a lot of fun just watching the last catch-up round.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I mean, talking about one-offs in decks, Henry's deck, spicy one-off. I mean, he's playing a lot more actual cards that tutor for spells and interactions. So, like, you know, the one of Eternal Witness can be fetched by Greason's Zenith. The one of Sakura Tribe are the same. The one of Doomway Giant can be fetched by Sterling Grove. You know, we've got a lot of real enchantment package there.
It's very much a battle of the toolboxes, isn't it? Which enchantments versus creatures almost.
Yeah. Interestingly, arguably the most powerful enchantment there, the one that wins the game, is Aluren. Like, while Henry slowly grinds out advantage with his enchantments, I think, worryingly, that matchup for Henry could mean that ramping your opponent into Aluren and then accidentally letting them go off. You know, obviously the humility is very good, but letting them go off, you know, is really strong.
Yeah, so it's enchantments that win the game versus enchantments that stop you winning the game. And so we have this horrible impasse where nobody can do anything.
Nobody does anything.
or in fact, know what's going on.
Yeah. Yes. That wasn't nice. So yeah, we saw there Aluren versus Nyxfit. I mean, Nyxfit often has that problem of requiring, you know, a special kind of win con, setting up a specific situation. And Aluren, I've played Veteran Explorer in Aluren before, just to set that up.
That was round 3. So that's those players have moved on to 2-0-1. So it's a very preferable position for them to be in.
Yeah. Moving into round 4, they can
moving into round 4, they can possibly ID, or
we'll see how this goes. Yeah, we might see ID across top tables here if Henry, Lee, and if the top 4 players haven't. But that means we get to see more exciting action from one of our other attendees.
Well, the other decks that we haven't seen yet, we have an Infect deck from Lewis Marchbank and also Miracles, I believe, from
We saw Miracles on table in round 2, which, you know, did some losing to Henry's massive Nyxfit brawl of a
what do we think about the kind of matchups we're going to see here, assuming that these top 4 players ID? Like, how is Infect going to fare against the Aluren and Enchantress style decks?
Infect, one of the more, well, definitely very linear. It has disruption and obviously a massive clock. I think, other than Miracles, the other decks in this top 4 will struggle to deal with that.
Yeah.
I mean, Veteran Explorer can block, but it can't block a Blighted Agent. Aluren, you know, has access to a combo kill, but probably not in the turn time that Infect will give it. Particularly with, you know, Infect is a dazed spell pierce deck, and Aluren is notoriously, well, struggles a little bit against those sorts of strategies. You know, especially when you're forced to block with Deathrite Shaman at times.
Yeah, it's a deck where you get to lead off with a Noble Hierarch and then daze their Deathrite Shaman, and that's not a good place for you to be, really.
Yeah, it's rough.
Obviously, we saw Miracles versus Enchantress Nyxfit thing earlier on camera. So a Nyxfit won. We were saying that the Nyxfit deck's probably slightly grindier, slightly more controlling than Miracles, which is a strange statement.
Yeah, well, we talked a bit about how Miracles can't deal with permanence, and Nyxfit definitely has that ability. The counterbalance top lock is nowhere near as good as the Sterling Grove Starfield and Nyx lock. Deal with it. And you also have Pernicious Deed to get rid of the counterbalance top lock.
Yes.
So it's you know, I think one of the reasons to play Nyxfit is because Miracles is fairly strong. and it's a deck that's favoured against that kind of strategy. You know, you can still get Catman top in play and then stop them out with wands.
It's an interesting one. I think Nyxfit is one of the best decks for you to cram your pet cards into. One of the best decks for you to do basically whatever you want to do. It's like playing Cube in Legacy.
Like playing Cube in Legacy. Like, well, Stuart Emerson had a good go at it, but yeah, Nyxfit is definitely the place to do that. Especially, I played Birthing Pod.
Yeah.
I've literally show and telled in a Shadowborn
Demon.
To kill my opponent's
Were you
Emrakul.
sacking Shadowborn Apostles though?
No, but
Oh.
you know, I was just Birthing Podding into it.
What's the creature do? Is it enter the battlefield and destroy
Just
another
kill
creature?
a guy, yeah. It's like a 5/6
giant
flyer,
flying
yeah. You have to-
shriek
yeah. Yeah. My opponent wasn't happy.
Fantastic.
You've also got sort of access to a range of different shooter effects in the Nyxfit list because of the amount of mana that you have access to. So you've got access to Greens and Zenith and, like I said, Birthing Pod. And so you get these one-off pet cards that you can see play. I quite like it for that. You don't get access to Rainstorm always, although you can. I think that one of the reasons I play Nyxfit is because it's a little bit more budget-friendly. So getting the blue jewels is not necessarily, the way to keep it budget.
Get to play a lot more basics.
You do get to play a lot of basics.
There are 2 colour versions, 3 colour versions, 4
Yeah,
colour
well,
versions.
the 2 colour,
I imagine there's a mono green version.
You probably not get to sack Veteran Explorer very efficiently, but you
It's
could
like a
probably go
Revolutionary Leap. There's so many options.
that card. That card made it for good. We're going to go straight back to the feature match area for our exciting next round.